Yeah, viewers all over the world. For some of you that are seeing me for the first time, call me Ogbuefi Eze-Ana, ugochitubelu na Oraifite, or you call me Akajigo. I'm an ancient high priest. Today's topic is dangers of comparison. Dangers of comparison. And I'm here to tell you that there is so much danger in comparing unnecessary competition. Yes, one Igbo adage says, "What me be see what Arabat is seeking Arabat to fear." I'm here to tell you there is no basis to comparison. It's not necessary because each and every one of us has a life to live. Some people are destiny is so early. Enwere ndị akpọrọ ọrụ n'ụtụtụ, enwere ndị akpọrọ ọrụ n'ehihie, enwere ndị akpọrọ ọrụ n'abalị. So ọ bụrụ mgbe onye ji bido that matters. Ihe dị mkpa bụ, are you playing according to your destiny? Remember that allegorical story in the Bible where Jesus told a story of a man that owns a farmland. In the morning, the man went out and called laborers to work for him. In the afternoon, he went out again and see other laborers idling away. He now called them, "My friends, why are you idle?" They responded that they didn't see job. He called them, "Come, I have a farm and farm for me. I will pay you what is suitable." Then later in the evening, like 4 in the evening, and it's maybe 6 o'clock, the work will close. He still went out again and still see other men idling away. He now asked them, "My friends, why are you not working?" They responded, "Our master, we have no job to do because nobody called us. Nobody hired our services." He now invited them to come and see work in his farm. But do you know the shocking part? By the time they all done for the work for the day, when he want to pay all of them, he paid all of them equally. What is the lesson there in? All these things is what we look into in this lecture. So if we are coming across this message, you are privileged. Your eyes will open, bandage will fall from your eyes. It's a promise. An important announcement, we are still in the month of March. Our group ritual for the month is still ongoing. Yes. If you want to be a part of these monthly rituals, you are invited. It's monthly rituals. Like this last day of this month, it will still happen again in the temple. Yes, it will happen again in the temple. On that particular day, I, Ogbuefi Eze-Ana, will be available to pray for you, to counsel you. If there is any prophetic message for you, I will also give you. You can join us. What you have to do is maybe support with Saraka stuff, whatever. We have been doing this monthly rituals over 4 years now. Believe in me, we have massive testimonies. Me and the other called ones will be there to welcome you. And I can tell you, an encounter with called ones can change your life. This morning I have gone to temple to make prayers, rituals, and sacrifices upon the ones that join us in these monthly rituals. The friends of the temple, the children of the temple, the members of Ordinary Restoration Evangelical Mission and Consecrated Group. We keep doing this till the last day of the month. To participate, what you have to do is to make token donation to the account number chat me on WhatsApp. I will tell you other details we need for you in order to book. My WhatsApp number is on your screen: 0805 7837 You can also reach me on 0813 8243 871. Now let's proceed. Like I told you before, topic anyị tata bụ ihe nsogbu dị na ide anwane ma ọ bụ na a compare mmadụ na abụ. Ọ dịrọ necessary. Ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ have lost of things. Ihe efunarịghị ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ, name it, marriages, friendship, relationship, because we keep comparing. That is not necessary. Every individual in this earth has a lane that the person must follow. Once you deviate or jump from your lane to another person's lane, even if you became first at the end of the race, you will be disqualified. You know why? Because you interrupted another person out of ignorance or envy or jealous. So increation does not support you blocking another person for your own advantage. So whenever you jump from your lane to another person's lane, it's perceived that you block another person's success. I can tell you that many have lost their marriages because they keep comparing. And like me personally, if I perceive that you are comparing me unnecessarily, if you are comparing yourself with me to serve as a motivation, kudos, that one is okay. If your comparison is, you are looking up at someone that is greater than you, somebody that have experience, has more experience than you, somebody that have achieved so many things more than you, as a mentor, as a role model, kudos, that one is okay. It's a healthy comparison. Yes, but when it is born out of hate or envy, jealous, it is not healthy. When you, as a married woman, will be comparing your husband with someone else's husband, is wrong. Ọ bụrụ na enyi gị na anwa oku ya otu ike kwere ya to guide you, and for you think na not enough, then that is error. You are a child. You are comparing your parents or your father to one rich man out there, saying, other men, other fathers, do this, do that. Then you are comparing. It's not healthy, because this is somebody like me. You compare me, reminded me those things that I did not achieve. I will ignore you, because all fingers are not equal. And if you are in the habit of comparison, you will lack gratitude. Ihe mmadụ mere gị ama na-atụ gị n'anya, because you always acting like Oliver Twist, asking for more, comparing benefit is not necessary. Because let me tell you, for anybody to earn anything from somebody, the person must have judged that this person earned this particular thing. Like me, whoever you are in my life, or however we got later, if I perceived that you are not a type that is willingly and ready to help himself or herself, I will elevate you to the background. mma hapụ gị. What I'm saying is that for mmadụ ọbụla iwere gị that you are serious, the person ga-afụrịrị no nwere something unique you have inside of you, and the person must have sensed that you are making frantic effort to move from point A to point B. That is when help will come. Even in Nigerian system, o nwere ihe a na-akpọ proposal. Proposal is when you have some certain business investment at heart, and you wrote down beautiful proposal on what you intend to achieve, and in that proposal it must carry the amount involved, how much you expect to gain, maybe daily or monthly as case may be, the profit margin that will be return on investment. Then you now write down the risk percentage. So if you really articulate it very well, onye ọbụla i wetara that proposal to look into will now see that this proposal is well written. Now the person will decide to support your dream, your vision to come to reality. But if your proposal is very poor, one year Dr. Eze-Ana, I want to be rich, I want to be successful, give me money. Whoever you be or how you related to me is not the case here. If you could say na ihe chọrọ bụ sinye gị 2 million ka i were ya bụrụ mmadụ, ma sinye 1 million ka i were ya bụrụ mmadụ, you must come with right proposal. It's not all about mentioning money. Tell me the business you want to invest this money to. Tell me the survey plan, physical survey plan you have done. Then tell me your market target. Then mention the risk. Then convince me how we are going to get return on investment. Then tell me profit margin. By doing this, I will understand. Then tell me the practical steps you have done, so that I will be convinced that you know what you are doing. It's not all about give me money, give me money. I know what to do, without presenting the reality. Let me tell you a story. I remember one man, his junior brother is rich. So this man, his junior brother have helped this man countless times. Sometimes you give him 1 million naira. This story is what happened many years ago, over 10 years now. Sometimes you give him 5 million, sometimes 1 million, sometimes the whole money, he keeps squandering this money. Now, this man told me the story himself. At a stage, his younger brother, the one that is rich, now decided that he will stop giving his elder brother money. See what he decided to be doing. Or decided to now put on Mazia. 1 year, 1 year elder brother, then addition on a ego, Nebutar Harais, Nebutar Nina, I don't know. Now, Oromu is a wako. Now, decided no many things 1 year will come with government. You know that 1 year will come. He's still castigating his junior brother, who is helping him to train his children and wife. You know what he told me? He told me, what is 5 million? What is 1 million? He now saying that his junior brother should take him to China, where his junior brother is buying goods, because his junior brother is an importer. That his junior brother should take him to the company is buying goods from China and load at least a container in his name, so that he will be rich. And I said, "You are a greedy man." Now, what are the guarantees that any grow that container they can succeed? You will still squander it, because Akon Nuche is not there. Before you will be asking for more money, what you have to do is that, for example, somebody gave you like 500,000 naira to start a business. You should be doing that business, and you will be showing the person return on investment. Maybe after 1 month, you tell the person that this business is going according to the capital you have. Show the person evidence that this business you started with 500,000 is yielding 100,000 every month, or even 50,000 every month, with evidence. So the person will now say, okay, since you can be turning 500,000 to 550 or 600,000 every month, if I add another 500, there is probability that this person will be turning 100 to 200,000 every month. The person will be encouraged to put more money. But when you come with excuses that the money the person gave you, you have bastardized them, that the money is no more, simple, because the money, to your mind, the money is small, you are not worthy to be given another money. If you cannot turn small something into something bigger, even if they give you something bigger, you will not be able to manage it and create something bigger. Remember the story in the Bible where Jesus told us a story of how a man intended to travel. Before then, he has 3 servants. He gave the other one £1 to start business. He gave the other one £2 to start business. I gave the third person £5 to start business. The one he gave £2, double it. The one he gave £5, double it. The one he gave £1 went and buried it under the ground. When the man asked for the money, he went and dig ground and bring it back. The man said, we are told, according to that story in the Bible, that £1 was collected from him and gave it to the one that had £10. The lesson there is that even if if you cannot turn it to move from point A to point B, I can narrow that one kenta. You only the serious. That is the message there. A lot of people are not prepared at all. So